Are you thinking about buying or selling a home, or a real estate professional and want to keep up with the Twin Cities news, stats, and market trends? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Make sure you check us out online at twincitiesrealestateshow.com. You can see all of our past shows there. Also, you can find our Smart Home Buyer, Smart Seller Guides, free publications. You can download those. I mentioned, are you a real estate professional, right? And it's amazing to me that the real estate professionals, and this was a discussion that we had this morning on our mastermind call about how agents are not with the times of what the market truly is doing. We're seeing agents on, no multiple offers offering over list price, right? Now, great. If I'm a listing agent, right? It's wonderful. But the waiving inspections and stuff like that. You mentioned agents that don't even want to work with buyers if they're waiving inspections, or if they're wanting to do an inspection. Where I'm almost of the flip mindset, right? I don't want to work with you if you're going to waive an inspection, because when things go wrong, that's when you're going to be like, hey, why did you suggest this, or why did you let me do this? And today's topic, we're going to be getting into don't be in a rush. We cover that in both the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, not to be in a rush. It's the biggest financial decision most people ever make, whether you're buying or selling a home. It's one thing to move efficiently, right? Yep. And I think some people screw that up, but being in a rush and making mistakes because of it, that can be very, very costly. I know I was having a conversation with a home buyer about, just going on to a month to month. So that way they can not find themselves in this exact same heated spring market that they had to deal with this year.
Yeah.
And how much money that can save somebody. $10,000 or more dollars easily.
It's a lot of money.
Easily, right? So to pay a few $100 extra bucks a month,
It is usually more expensive to do month to month. The landlord usually does raise the rent a bit, but it is the best position you can be in to do your first home time buying, you know what I mean? If you're in a rental, you want to be month to month, or crashing on someone's couch. Those are the two best positions if you're ready to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's the term out there we talk about is the lease roulette game, right?
Yeah.
You sign that 12-month lease, you're stuck for another 12 months. You get to the end of that lease and you realize, gosh, I really didn't save the amount of money I wanted to. And I can't do what I thought I was able to do. And now I'm in another 12-month lease.
Yeah.
So,
right. And then you're
it's a cycle.
Same low inventory. That's the thing. Our hot market, the market where it's the extreme multiple offers, that is February, March, April, begin into May. And then it starts to quiet down a bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to deep dive into that in the next segment. Some how to avoid the rushing piece. Treat it like you're saving for retirement. Come up with a plan, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna deep dive into that. But I want to run through some stats we're seeing in our Twin Cities market right now. Right.
Perfect.
So new listings has been holding pretty steady since the last show that we did. It's about 1,400-ish new listings a week. So we are absolutely seeing our inventory numbers increasing over where they were weeks back. But we are still behind in inventory where we were last year at the same time.
How much behind? Do you know?
So it's about 6.5% lower inventory.
I would have guessed even more.
Yeah. The big offset is, even though it's lower inventory, the month supply is still a little higher, and a lot of that is interest rates is playing into that. And although the markets are closed on the day we're recording this, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, our rate's right around 6.875 on the 30-year.
Correct. Yep. Right. Yeah. Upper sixes. With the opportunity to buy down if it makes sense. Just wanted to mention that real quick. There's a lot of again, people paying points that don't necessarily need to pay points to with that payback period on the points, the break-even period, I should say. Again, there's a lot of loan officers out there using people's money freely when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know you mentioned a situation where it's like they tacked on a $10,000 closing cost to make their rate look better, right?
Yeah,
and that means you have to bring 10,000 more to the table.
Can you explain that a little bit? Because I bet there's a lot of listeners that don't understand what buying down means and points mean.
Absolutely. So it's called paying points or discount points. It's not you're getting a discount on your rate, but you got to pay money to get that. Mm-hmm. And it's a percentage of the loan amount. So the amount of money you're borrowing, there's a certain percentage you can pay to buy that down.
Yeah.
1 point would be 1%. A half a point would be 0.5%. You multiply that by your loan amount. So what the loan officer should be doing is finding out, okay, the cost is this, the savings in the monthly payment is this, and it's going to take you this much time to recoup that cost.
Like, where's that break-even point for years?
Right, because I mean, see if it happens, but you have the Mortgage Bankers Association saying we're going to probably see interest rates fourth quarter of this year down in the fives again. Like, so does it really make sense to pay $10,000 to buy it down, or just refinance in a year?
Correct. Yeah, and that's where it's so important for your loan officer to run that break even for you, because if you're not, I would say 24 months is really my rule of thumb. I know everybody's different, but we know, and again, we don't have the crystal ball, but what the reports are saying, what the government's telling us, within 2 years, we're going to see a pretty significant decrease in rates. Mm-hmm. So if you front end load it and pay all these closing costs up front, knowing you're going to refi in the next 24 months, you're wasting your money.
I think you bring up a point where a lot of people, as soon as you say, well, in the next 2 years, we're going to see rates be lower, well, why not just wait to buy a home until rates are lower? Well, it's this fun little catch-22, because when rates go down, prices go up. We know
the competition.
Right. The competition skyrockets.
I am terrified for the competition when the interest rates go down. Yeah. We're building this bubble of buyers that are waiting. As soon as interest rates go down, it's going to be worse for pricing.
Yeah, exactly. And we're actually in a time where we haven't seen prices going crazy like we have for the previous 3 years.
They've kind of plateaued.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes, they have.
Still escalating, but not dramatically like it has been.
Right. So it's the, a line that I heard and I love is you can always refinance, but you cannot change the price you paid for that house once you buy it.
Exactly.
Right? And so you can change your loan, but if you keep waiting, then it gets into the cost of saving thing, all of that. Yeah. There will be more costly.
Like, are you renting? Yeah. How much are you paying for rent a year? That could have been going towards a down payment, going towards your own wealth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're going to wait 2 years. You're probably going to spend, $20,000 then?
Yep.
In
Kirk
rent.
had mentioned something very important. I talk to people about this a lot, you guys, is your retirement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The second you buy a house, you're building equity,
yeah.
right? And then if you do that little thing with accelerated payments, make an additional payment every year, you're going to build yourself that much more equity.
Or go to a 20-year
building for your
something
future.
like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Generational wealth.
So real quick, before we get to our next segment here, just wanted to talk about the showings per week. Right now we're seeing it about 5.14. This is for homes priced between $250 and $500. So average 5.14 showings per week. So where does that put the market meter? We're slowing down, as mentioned. And again, if you have an agent advising you out there that's crazy, it's insane. Yeah, some homes maybe, but right now it's at a 6.89, which is kind of a mild seller's market range, almost on the edge of stable market. So things are getting quieter. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back. Kirk Duckwall here again with the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Our local sponsors are BRIX Real Estate, Network Title, Eric Bloomstrand and Chad Priebe with Bell Bank Mortgage, and James Tufson with the Preserve Group.
When shopping for a mortgage, there is a formula to get the best rate. With the market today, knowing this formula is more important than ever. My name is Chad Priebe with Bell Bank Mortgage. I have over 20 years experience in the mortgage industry and in home buying education. I'd like to share this useful tool with you to help you shop for your mortgage. You can find me at chadpriebe.com or call me at 651-207-9274.
Hello, My name's James Topson with the Preserve Group. Anyone can sell you insurance. However, is it going to be the insurance you need? When life surprises pop up, you want the right coverage. When it comes time to find or renew your policy, give me a call. I would love to review your existing policy and show you what I can do for you. You can email me at james@mypreservegroup.com or give me a call at 651-728-4334.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
People always ask realtors, what is your commission? But what they should be asking is, what is your rate of return? Commissions only vary by a couple of percent from agent to agent. However, the price per square foot you get just based on their experience and the quality of marketing they use can vary by 10% or more. At BRIX Real Estate, our agents use the right marketing and have the experience to get you top dollar for your house. See what we can do for you at BRIXTwinCities.com. Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Thank you all for joining us. And I want to thank Jilly Jenkins. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been forever, you guys. I missed ya.
It's been a while. I know. Well, I know you've been recovering from the funk.
Oh my God, everyone's got the funk right now.
Yeah.
Down with the funk. I gave it to my husband, so he's at home right now.
Oh no.
Disgusting. I've been so
look
gross.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm human again, pretty much.
There you go. Well, you sound better than you did last week.
I know when I called you that one time, I was like, I could barely talk.
That's no fun.
I'm like,
You're like
I felt
afraid.
bad.
You're like
oh,
afraid
man.
I'm gonna infect you through the phone.
And we got Chad Priebe here in studio with us as well. Thank you for joining us. And
Yeah.
I think you know this. You went through this process a little over a year ago yourself.
Yeah.
The home buying, home selling, and I want to focus on don't be in a rush.
You're right.
Right? And it's on both sides of the transaction. Don't be in a rush.
Don't be desperate.
So
It's one thing to be expedient when you find a house that you like and you like it, and that's why we get back to that home buyer priority checklist, right? Hey, we need to, when you know it's the right place, act upon it. The other thing is when I talk about not being in a rush, that doesn't mean not to be looking. Oh, well then I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for rates to go down. I'm going to wait for home prices to go down, right? And we've been doing this show for years. We've been doing classes for years. Home prices I'm actually working on a video right now, and it's talking about how real estate outperforms the stock market as far as with the ups and downs. It's much more predictable, the gains that you can have.
For sure.
It's a long game.
It is.
A long-term investment.
Yeah.
So, going back, not being in a rush, I mentioned last segment, people plan for retirement. They think about what things they're going to buy, their portfolio that they're going to invest in, where things are going to be at. Right. Putting the same kind of thought into the biggest financial transaction is important. Again, don't allow this to necessarily lapse judgment, because sometimes not being in a rush can, that's fine, I'll just wait until fall to get it on the market.
Right.
Okay, well, let's talk about that impact that might have.
Right.
But there are these things that are weighing itself out. So let's start on the buying end of not being in a rush.
Okay.
So often we have people that come to us in that December, January, February timeline. I'm going to beat the spring market.
Yeah,
Too late.
Too
late. If you want to beat the spring market,
figure your stuff out in like November.
Well, I was going to say start looking in June, July, August, September, October, right? Because we actually see, if we go back to 2022, the slowest month in the year was September.
Really?
The market started improving, right, as we came out. So, actually, I think I have my date wrong. I'm sorry, 21. 21, the slowest month was September, And I think it was November for 22.
But that to me is opportunity for buyers, right?
Mhm.
Well, there is.
Yeah,
there
I
is
love
this-
late fall and like winter shopping with buyers.
Well, you own the market.
I love clients that want to take on winter buying seriously.
I personally think, I mean, absolutely, you own the market. My personal favorite time is that mid to late summer or early fall. And the reason behind that is I do know that prices are still, they're on their way down. Things are slowing down. And again, if you look at closed sales data, you got to be careful because closed sales data is a month to 2 months later. So it'll look like that the highest sale prices are in June and July. That's not true. They closed.
When they
Right.
close.
Right. The actual, when they went under contract was that April-ish time frame,
Yeah.
April, May. So things are slowing down as we get into that July, August time frame. What I like there is that you have the most inventory to choose from at that point, while competition is absolutely coming down. Whereas when you get into the late fall and winter, your selections are becoming more limited.
It is
Yeah.
very limited.
Yeah.
So if you're going to shop, like you said, late fall, early winter, you're going to have to be extremely flexible with what you're buying. You can't be a buyer that has a specific type of home area. Like, you know what I mean? You got to be flexible.
Yep.
But I love after the first snowfall when the vacant properties prices start dropping.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the best time to get in with my
It's-
favorite time to get in with my buyers.
Yeah.
I think it's the perfect first time home buyer market.
Yeah.
Because it's we tend to see less pickiness about layout in that first home. Rambler, split level, I don't really care. A lot of people. As with the second time home buyers, they start to know what they don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that goes back to the August-ish timeline. You have that higher inventory, so you may find more if you're a second-time home buyer there.
Right.
Or if you're that first-time home buyer and you have specific needs that you have to have met. So a tactic that's really good this time of year, if you're out there shopping right now, so it's still a little competitive, right? It's not like it was 2
I
months
mean,
ago.
I think to be fair, it's pretty darn competitive, but compared to what we've seen, it's not
Yeah,
as brutal. I mean, most things are still in multiple offers, right? At least that's what I've seen with my buyers.
it's under 50% now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's come down from where we were in the 70-ish, 80% range. That was multiple offers, so it is getting better, and it's also the number of offers, right? So
Right.
it's multiple
Yeah, it's
offers,
going down.
right? So
Mhm.
maybe it's only 2 instead of
I
10,
had only 4 this weekend, and
right?
one that my client got, and I was like, heck yeah, only 4.
It's getting better.
And it's like, thank God.
Well, that's a lot of relief too for the sellers, right? If you're getting 10 offers in, how stressful is that to sift through those?
Which one really is really the best?
Yeah, any,
I
mini,
don't
mighty,
know.
mo.
I feel like sellers maybe have a bit of a little bit of confusion around that, where they're like, I want 50 offers, and then Kirk comes in and says, you don't want 50 offers, you want 5 amazing offers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
50 offers, if you get 50 offers, you're probably pricing that home way too low.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a good point. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Sellers get confused about that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, and again, it's you want the quality terms,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yes.
about getting a property to the closing table, and it's getting the best on the table to get there. So one of the things that I love to do for buyers is looking for what I call the Monday, Tuesday houses versus the Friday houses.
Mhm.
So what do I mean? I'm talking about that house that is still on the market Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning after its first weekend. It didn't go into multiple offers. It's that 55, 60% of those homes that didn't sell, right?
Yeah.
That are there. Now, statistically, they're still going to probably sell within a week or so, right? Right now, we're seeing average days on market. Actually dropped a little bit this last week, down to about 14.
Yeah.
But that's, it's not the heavy multiples. And now you may have the opportunity to go out and actually negotiate and keep your inspection,
Yes.
Yeah, please.
right?
Oh my gosh.
Keep
it's so
your
important.
inspection intact. It's one thing to make an offer and maybe do a no nitpick, or hey, you know what, we're not gonna, if it's an item over 2,500 and we retain the right to back out if we choose, but we're not gonna sit there and be like, you have a sticky window, your vent for your bathroom is vented into the attic and it's not out the roof. The little things where you get that laundry list where it's just really major items, right? And that's what most buyers are concerned about,
Right.
right? I think
Yeah.
some buyers they go in with the mindset I'm not going to be picky, and then they see the report and they just like
It gets scary.
it gets scary,
Yeah.
Especially if it's your first time.
Yep.
You get a 50-page report of everything possibly wrong with the home.
and that's what we hire them for, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of it, right?
And it better be 50 pages.
But
Don't be giving me that 5-page crap.
yeah, so a lot of it is that it's similar to like buying a used car, right? You're not going to go back and be like, oh, the tire is a little bit worn, I need you to replace that, right? Or, oh, this is carbureted, not fuel injected, I need you to swap that out, right? No, you're buying a used car,
Yeah.
and this term of code. I had somebody throwing that word around at me, and I said, if I had to have a house to code of everything, I'd have to take my 2021 house and plow it to the ground because I guarantee you there's something in there that's not to code.
Right.
Why? Because code always changes.
Yeah.
The question is, was it to code at the time it was built or the things were installed?
Right.
Right?
Updated.
Right? Was
Like
it done to
electrical.
the appropriate code at that time? One of the biggest things we see is there is a ton of homes with 2-prong ungrounded outlets that are out there.
Yep.
That's normal for houses of the 50s and 60s. It was done to
And it's
code of
normal
that
for
time,
a starter home.
right? So it goes back. So having appropriate expectations on inspection is important. But yeah, going back to the Monday, Tuesday houses, looking for those ones that have that negotiation opportunity again, so you can keep your inspection intact, get out there and make a fair price offer.
Right.
We see these houses that go into this multiple, and it's just like that clearly just sold for 15, 20,000 over what the home's worth. I know you mentioned low appraisal issues.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been
Yeah.
seeing a lot of that this season?
I have not.
I
But
think it was more so common last year.
yeah, and you got to be careful too with the appraisal gaps. I know that's language we talk about. I don't want to jump ahead, but I wanted to ask you guys. So, is a Monday house necessarily a bad house?
No.
Didn't make it through the
No.
week, and maybe it's someone that didn't have it staged.
Correct.
Maybe that the carpet's old, needs to be replaced.
It
and
might have been an
cosmetic stuff.
issue with just even scheduling showing. Some sellers work from home. Some sellers have children.
Right.
Sellers have lives too, and so maybe it's not always easy to get in.
Right. Yeah. I just
I
want
mean,
to
I
make
love
sure.
those ones for my buyer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I just had a great little grandma and grandpa house that made it past the first week. Right, we came in there, got all the closing costs covered, maintained the inspection. It's just like, and it's cosmetics.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we do have the mindset out there, right, that a house sells itself. Okay. You don't need to do any
Some
work.
people have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
To my point is, so if we have, let's say, an agent telling that to their seller, and then the house sits over the weekend,
Mhm.
right? That's where consumers can find their best buys.
Absolutely.
That's a
And
really good
dirty
opportunity.
homes.
Dirty homes.
I love
right?
dirty
I love dirty homes. We've talked about that. Like, I literally will just buy a cleaner for my client's closing gift.
Nice.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's filthy, let's get it for cheaper.
I saw one where it was dishes in the sink, scuff marks on the walls, dog fur on the ground, like on the carpet.
Yeah.
This thing had sat for 10 days, and I'm just like, I could go in here, buy this house, clean it,
Clean
Yeah.
it.
and sell it for 20,000
It
more
is
than it's
usually
going to
20,
sell.
25,000
Yeah.
is what I tell my clients. That's been the norm for the past year-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been selling a lot of dirty houses.
Yeah, dirty houses are wonderful,
Yeah.
and it's looking past it. Just takes a cleaner.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fry effect, right? You want to know what the fry effect is?
Right.
Check
The
out
French fry.
Yes, the seller's guide. We talk all about it, right? And it's what happens. So, okay. Another thing that can affect it, and again, this goes to Monday, Tuesday houses, is what day did the house list?
Mhm.
right? Like a house that lists on Monday or Tuesday actually can also be a good one. Why? Because homes that list on Mondays or Tuesdays get 40% less showings.
Yeah. Why would you, as a seller, I have never, I don't think, listed on a Monday or Tuesday for my clients.
Well, I think
Why would you?
it's an old mindset.
Like
of
maybe
we're
the
gonna
agent isn't as
We're gonna have the broker open
Informed?
on Tuesday,
Oh,
right? Or
sure.
something like that. Let's get it listed. Let's have the broker open, right? When I got started, Monday or Tuesday listings were common.
really.
They were the thing, right?
How long have you been licensed now?
15 years.
15 years, yeah.
15 years this month.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I mean, that's, well, we were still doing fax to email.
I
Handwritten
remember
offers,
that.
handwritten offers,
Yeah.
fax to email.
The good old days.
Yes.
I've been licensed for around 10 years now, and I remember not understanding the fax to email. Like, I was fresh out of college, and was like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
What is the point of this? And it was common.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah. Does that even exist anymore?
No.
Not much. I do it if I get a fax, I can convert it to a PDF. And
So, day of week on Sunday house. Oh my gosh, a house that lists on a Sunday. Please get in.
Is
and
that
go.
even
Yeah,
a thing?
absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that I did the fantasy real estate game, and I gave.
I know, I
gave,
sucked at it.
well, I gave a.
I sucked at getting, I would never answer. I was so bad at answering.
I did a Christmas listing, a house that
nice.
listed on Christmas. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good for them,
no.
No.
right? And no, absolutely sat on the market for over 2 months.
And not everyone
Uh,
lists on Christmas, or not everyone celebrates Christmas, excuse me.
Right.
So there is like a population that wouldn't care at all. But there's
Well,
a huge population.
It's being aware. It's
Yeah.
being aware of what's happening around you.
There's
It's
a
being
huge
aware.
population that's
of-
not even going to be looking for a week
Right.
around Christmas.
So,
Right.
the when it's listed, holiday weekend listings, right?
Mhm.
Memorial weekend, Labor Day weekend, 4th of July timeline, right? They're going to get less showings. So for
Yeah.
buyers, this is an opportunity. For sellers, don't do this,
Yeah.
right? Don't list on the be coming on the market. If you want to be early in the week, then go Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mhm.
Sometimes Saturday listings can work if you have a good coming soon in there, but yeah, the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not as good. Then we have time of year, I think is important. Time of year, we kind of talked about that for buyers, going for that. Second half tends to be best, right? And so things are, as we get into that July, August, September, and so forth, it's going to be a lot easier for buyers out there. For sellers, though, pay attention, right? When the peaks, the lulls, I have clients will be like, either we're making it to market in July, or we're going to hold out till September in the second couple weeks, because August, especially the latter half of August, is dead. You can just take a nap.
Everyone wants to be out at their cabin on the
Yeah.
lake, enjoying
State
the last bit
fair.
of summer.
Getting ready for school.
Right.
Maybe getting the last family trip in before school starts. People aren't looking as
I mean,
much in August.
So many misconceptions about, I once my garden is pretty, I can put my home on the market. Well, if you wait until it's green, you're going to miss out on green, right?
Yeah.
So there's a misconception. We know that to be true.
Yeah.
Check out the market meter; it proves that point all the time. The other is, don't people want to buy before the school year starts?
Hear that one.
That is done at the beginning of summer, right? Those people are looking almost always to get in. I've actually seen more activity in the latter half of September than the first half, or again that August piece, right? And so I think the population that's looking to get into the district is typically getting in significantly early into that, so they can still do stuff to the house, get the house ready, get
Yeah.
settled in before the school
Easier
year starts.
transition for
Mhm.
the kids.
I can think of several times over the past, Kirk, where, and specifically this year, where we've had some buyers in March and April that just weren't having good luck. And you told them
Yeah.
put the brakes on, keep actively looking, but don't get too invested, because we've been let down a few times. But now look at how many contracts we have in June. And
Yeah.
those were the people that you said, hey, pump the brakes a little bit.
Wait, right? And so the market went from here down to here,
Correct.
they're
Yes.
getting great places with negotiation, keeping inspections, all of that's happening.
Yep. Yep.
Right? And that's because they're being patient.
Right.
They're not rushing.
And I know Jilly's the same way, is that if we're gonna put our client into the heat of the market, right, with that mindset, and then tell them, hey, everything's gonna go perfect, that's just letting them down, right? Because we know it's not that easy.
I don't think I've ever told a client it'll go perfect. I usually am like the one that's like pumping up the troops. You know,
You're a seasoned
Like,
veteran. Come
this
on.
is gonna be brutal. We're gonna get through it together. I guarantee you're gonna call me crying a couple times.
Yep.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yep.
So it's been the deal for years now.
The last point to that, sorry to cut you off, is that if you're working with a seasoned agent, they're going to be able to explain that to you and have certainty in that explanation, right? Where you have someone that's maybe newer in the industry, that's nothing against them, they don't have that experience to know that, right?
Yeah.
So it is
Or
worth
they
your time
have
to
parents
invest.
that told them how easy it should be and how much they should get back from inspection and that the house should be perfect. This door frame's crooked over here. Something's wrong with this house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you kind of have
We have war
first time
stories.
home buyers
a lot
have
of
a
them.
lot of stuff going against them right now. But it's
hard.
worth it to get out of rental, you guys. At all,
Absolutely.
it's absolutely worth it to get out of rental.
For sure, 100%.
Last thing I want to touch on is, and this is really more for sellers, but buyers absorb and understand, because when you see houses that don't do this, this is again where you can leverage it, and that's prep. Don't
Yes.
rush your prep, right? I have a client right now. We're looking to get on the market later this week so we can beat the 4th of July, right? We don't want to list obviously going into the 4th of July week, otherwise we just wait until after.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, if we get to Monday and you're not going to be ready, let me know. All right, it's okay. I would rather have you take the time and have it be ready
Right.
than rush it and it's not ready. Because if that house is a dirty house, right? If that house you didn't have the time to get it staged or get the professional photographers in there, or do the little things and prep, almost always it's clean floors, clean walls,
Paint and patch those walls.
smells good, right?
Yeah.
Cleaned,
Right.
right? That's what I talk about in prep, right? It looks good when you go in there, because if it's chipped paint all around the trim,
Right.
there's pet stains on the floor, stuff like that, it's going to cost you a
Yeah.
lot of money.
And what's
Right.
the
Why?
saying? The devil's in the details, is that the saying?
Yeah.
Because, make sure those light switches are clean, guys.
Yes.
Make sure those furnace vents aren't caked
Dusted.
with dust and
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, good point.
Because even if you have spent a ton of time and maybe even money getting your house professionally clean, if those items are disgusting, the buyer's going to know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're going to know that this house might not have been maintained the way I would have wanted to purchase the type of home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want, I'm sure both of us happy to, if anybody's looking to sell and you want a customized preparation list, no
Mhm.
cost, call us up. We'll come out, we'll do that for you. Here's what you need to do. I had a good friend reaches out to me for some real estate advice, and he's like, hey, I'm selling my parents' place. We're going to be getting it ready here. My sister and my other brother, they're talking about doing an as-is sales. What's your thought on that? I said, well, if you want to share your price by $45,000, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he's like, really, that much? I'm like, absolutely, 45 grand, hands down. At the price
Wow.
point you're at, the type of property you're selling, and we were only talking like mid-30s, right? I'm like, if you try to sell as is with that location, that's what it's going to cost you. How much do you think it's going to cost you to get it ready? Always maybe $4 or $5 grand. I'm
Yeah.
like, exactly. Just take the time, get it ready, because it is a big cost.
Yeah.
And that's how these companies that we buy ugly houses,
Mhm.
the instant offer stuff, they're making their money off that.
Yeah.
Do you want the money, or do you want them to have the money?
Exactly.
Right? And both of us are loaded with professional contacts that can easily come in, do this
Get it
stuff,
done.
and make. I mean, I've had multiple properties this year where we've gone in and kind of, here's the contractors, they coordinated it, the contractors coordinated it all, easy peasy, get it done, and they get it.
I was obsessed with your property on Orchard.
So, yes.
I loved that house. It was like a little cabin. Did you see it? It was like a little cabin,
think
and
so.
they put skylights in and
Cool.
refinished everything. Cute little kitchen. Loved that place.
You know,
And
the one you staged in Plymouth, that house.
yeah,
Little backstory: I sold that one previously, but what happened is the day before closing, the buyer lost their job.
oh,
Cool.
And it finally created the opportunity because there's a two-family situation on that house. Well, the guy that I was kind of directly working with said, "Hey, Kirk, what do you think if I just buy the other half?" I said, "That'd be a great idea. Then we can do these things to get it ready."
yeah.
So the offer we originally had accepted was $325. Well,
And this was the one that you did previous, and then in spring you did it, right?
Yeah, we redid it, right?
Yeah.
So $325 is the accepted offer. Carpet, paint,
Mhm.
good cleaning.
Right.
$365.
Yeah,
Nice.
and that was a
Yeah.
cute house.
Cash offer.
That was a cute
Yeah,
house.
Right. So doing that little work made a huge difference. Having our one in Napa
Sure.
Valley putting on right now, we're going to see the exact same kind of results.
Nice.
So
It's like going to a job interview. Are you going to show up with holey jeans and a t-shirt on, or are you going to mow the grass and you're going to take care, clean the house up, and make it professionally ready for?
right, and have it
Yeah.
looking good.
Lawns are hard this year.
Oh boy.
We haven't had rain in like 2 months.
Right?
We finally got rain in my house last
Did
night.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, we
we got a
didn't.
little bit too, but
Really?
We probably got a half inch, luckily.
oh, nice.
We need it, man, in our
Yeah, we're
place.
dry.
When I do showings, everyone's lawn is just crunch.
Well, I know
Crunchy.
I know Lauren's going to cut us off here, so
Okay.
I think we're gonna wrap up the show. Check us out again though. Any questions? TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. You can submit them there or reach out directly. Thank Jilly. Thanks
Yeah,
again
thanks for
in.
coming, you
Chad,
guys.
thanks.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you. Thank you, Kirk.
Any show suggestions too? Please reach out TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. We'll see everybody in a couple weeks.
Don't forget to check us out online anytime at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can find all of our past shows, our weekly market updates, along with the latest and greatest searching and researching tools, and our free publications to include the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, along with the BRIX Report. All of these free for you. If you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs.